Hello and welcome to another episode of What's on Yours. I'm Michael Hennessy,
And I'm Cindy Smith.
and we're getting into episode number 9 of What's on Yours
Number
today.
9.
9. We're closing in on double digits. This is great.
Pretty soon.
So we're going to go once again about books, movies, music, and TV this week. And we'll launch right into some books here. Now, we just started this past weekend. We lost time.
Yes.
We lost an hour on Saturday night, Sunday morning.
It was brutal.
I mean, when you're a parent with small children, you sort of hope that you can get all the time you can to nap, but it doesn't matter.
Well, once they get older, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Michael slept till, well, technically it would be 9 o'clock. But with the new time, it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I think he did it on purpose because he didn't want to go to Faith first.
Like,
So he knew that, hey, if I sleep in late enough,
oh, I didn't know the time changed.
didn't know. Actually, no, to his defense, when he woke up, because his alarm clock said 9 o'clock, so he thought he was on time.
Okay.
And then when I'm like, no, it's 10 o'clock, he was like, oh, so I'm missing it? I'm like, yeah, you're missing it. He was kind of like, yeah.
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 Well, in keeping with the daylight savings time and how it messes everyone up, we're going to talk a little bit about time travel. And do you have any? What's the most recent book that you read related to any kind of aspect of time travel?
Time Traveler's Wife.
Time Traveler's Wife. Now that was
was
a
a
big
couple
one. That was
years
made
ago.
into a movie too.
I made into a movie.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it. Maybe it was just too soon for me to read it,
Okay.
but I couldn't get into it.
What was the gist of it? How was it to time travel related?
Oh my gosh,
Was it related to an astronaut or something?
I don't think so.
No?
I
Okay.
think you're
Well, there's
thinking
so many sci-fi things with
I
time
think you're
travel.
thinking
I'll just
another
throw that
movie.
in there.
No, I think it was a while ago. I wish I could remember it. I mean, it was right when the book came out, which was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't remember what it was.
Well, if it didn't grab you, it didn't grab you.
No, and normally, like my rule is 50 pages,
Mm-hmm.
and then if nothing, then that's it. I stop.
Wow, you're ruthless.
Just
That's
because
good.
there's so many books, and if something doesn't happen within the first 50 pages, then I'm done. I'm done.
There's so many books to read. Why spend any of your time reading a book that isn't good?
That's it. I mean, we did it in high school.
Yeah.
Where we were, forced to read a book, you had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
But with being a reviewer, like, if it's not within the first 50 pages, that's it. I have to bail.
What we're gonna have to have. We're gonna have to have an episode where we talk about things where we didn't finish it. Books
Exactly.
and movies and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's one movie I remember I walked out of before I got to the end of it. There is one book in the last couple of years I remember I just put it down because I thought it was so incredibly boring.
Yeah.
Both cases I couldn't believe that they actually got any positive reviews whatsoever.
That's it. And I know we all have different tastes, so I can't say, I can't say somebody else wouldn't like the book.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's my rule of motto. 50 pages. That's it.
That's okay. Well,
Yeah.
there's another book that's out related to time travel that's had enormous success, both as a book and as recently a TV series, and that's Outlander.
Yes.
Diana Gabaldon.
And
What's that?
I haven't read that.
You haven't read that? Well, basically, interesting. She, the nurse, the lead character, is a nurse in World War II, in 1945-ish, and she winds up going back to mid 1700s Scotland.
Yeah.
So she's right in the middle. She I get the term Outlander, Sassenach or whatever the translation is, and of course there's a love triangle and all that sort of thing, but hugely popular. Hugely popular.
It is. And that's another series of books that it doesn't appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big into historical fiction books, so.
Well, I'll say Game of Thrones has really opened the possibility for TV shows that have a historical element with large, generally what you would think of as kind of almost like fantasy type elements with it. You know, sword fighting and all that, which generally was avoided. You know, people wouldn't generally touch that with a 10-foot pole for TV. But now there's Vikings, there's Marco Polo, there's Outlander. You know, in addition to Game of Thrones, which is, you know, people say there's obviously Game of Thrones filled well, it was presented, and I mean George Martin's book was enormously popular, so they had a built-in audience, and then it was adapted so well, and it engaged people so much. You know, once there's a success, people don't mind trying the same sort of vein.
That's it.
Yeah, and the other ones are doing really well as well.
Yeah.
You know, so but that's the time travel book that I'll mention for now. Now movies. Last week I talked about Danny Rubin's book, How to Write Groundhog Day.
Yes.
And I'll just mention Groundhog Day as a time travel movie.
That's it.
It's not so much a time travel as it is repeating. You're stuck in the moment. You can't get out of. You know, it's every morning he wakes up at 6 o'clock with "I Got You, Babe" by Sonny and Cher playing on the little flip radio next to his bed in the bed and breakfast in that small little Punxsutawney to see the groundhog Punxsutawney Phil determine whether it's going to be a long or short time before it gets warmer. The whole Groundhog Day thing. I'll just same thing I said last week. Great structure to that movie. It's funny, but there's something underneath all the comedy as well. And it's a good character development, and it's a gem of a movie.
It is. It's like a classic movie.
It is.
You know what happens because it's the same storyline over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it's fun too.
Well, if you take a look at it as a romantic comedy,
Mm-hmm.
you know it's not a twist to say they get together in the end.
Mm-hmm.
What this one did so well is you did know how it was going to get to the end, and that's where the enjoyment comes in. You sort of have an idea. You're anticipating how it's going to get there, but you don't know how it's going to get there. And this one did that so well. That's what made it really successful, or one of the reasons it was so successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about you for the time travel movies?
Back to the Future.
Classic.
With J. Fox.
Did you see all of the movies in the series?
I didn't see the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the first two.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was truly. That's a good classic movie.
Yeah. It was wise beyond their years when they made it.
You know, and the fact that they used a DeLorean. A little shout out to New Brunswick there. The DeLorean. I never thought I'd see a DeLorean in a movie.
Yeah.
But it's just a classic that they used it with the gull wing doors and all that. But
yeah.
And the way they created the characters, the time travel part of it was interesting, as a science fiction kind of element. But no, when you ask people about Back to the Future, they don't really so much think of it as science fiction. You know what I mean?
Because that's what I don't think of it as science fiction.
You know?
Yeah.
It's because you remember Marty McFly. You just remember it's so well written and it's becoming ingrained so much. You know, the story resonated really well.
That's it.
You know, Back to the Future. That's a classic.
Yeah, and you can watch it like over and over again, and it's just not like I know it's a dated movie, but it doesn't feel like it's a dated movie.
No, if you're flipping through TBS and it's on, you can join it halfway through and still enjoy it.
That's it. It's still the same.
You know, it's like The Godfather. If I happen to be turn on the TV and it's on, I can watch that. I start that on that at any time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, although I don't turn on the TV to surf anymore because of when I want to watch something, it's on demand. I go Netflix or Crave TV or whatever now.
That's it.
You know. You should have a drink.
I should have a drink.
You're double fisting today.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that owl before. That is an excellent looking mug.
One. I got it at Chapters.
Nice.
I think it was December. It was in December.
Oh, you got it for Christmas.
Not really.
Oh,
Christmas
you're one of those.
like
That's
the
right.
buy you an owl gift day.
You treat yourself weeks before Christmas.
That's it. And it's actually really good. I'm drinking Cocoa Latte. It's from a Montreal company called prettytea.ca.
So cocoa latte is a tea.
It's a tea. It's a black tea,
Interesting.
and it's got broken cocoa bits, brittle pieces with sugar, hazelnuts, sugar, chocolate chips, cocoa beans with cocoa butter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just enjoying my King Cole tea, orange pekoe. It's not as fancy as that.
Classic New Brunswick tea, though.
So is yours like? Is it like a hot chocolate or what?
No, it's a black tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the flavors is it, obviously there's some
It's
sort of
got
hints.
like a chocolatey cocoa coffee kind of taste. Like you
Interesting.
can little hints.
All right.
Now I'll probably be up like all night now because I'm drinking so much caffeine, but it's
Now,
very good.
these teas, do you ever put milk in yours?
I usually don't, not with like these herbal teas,
Okay.
but with my regular like Tetley tea, I will milk and sugar.
Yeah, I have a little milk and a little bit of honey. Honey
Okay.
from South Tedigashire, Nectar Valley honey.
Okay.
So it's local. What's I can't remember what the name for beekeeper is, the scientific one, but it's local honey.
So you're drinking local honey, and I'm drinking local tea.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now, music-wise, the music itself isn't having to do with time travel, but what I came across was a box of cassettes. So it was time travel in that way, just having a snapshot of old music, you know.
Yeah.
And one of them was a taping of I can't remember the year of it, but Jack and Diane by John Cougar.
Oh my gosh!
It was the New Year's Eve countdown, the top 100. Back when you would tape the songs from the radio.
CKBC.
That's what I plug it in. I had my little radio and had the one speaker and the big dial to tune in the radio. And had the cassette tapes to tape that.
Yeah. Now, did you stay up all night on New Year's Eve taping songs?
If sometimes I'd miss it the first time because they replayed it again.
Yeah.
But yeah. Most of the night I was just there taping the songs. New Year's Eve, yeah.
The good old days of pirated music.
I mean, that was pretty fun. You
Yeah.
know, I remember. I really enjoyed that back then, and I think that's. I mean, there's nothing like that now.
No.
You know.
No.
Just download it all from the internet, but be tuning into the radio and really curious as to what the top 100 are, and
Yeah.
you know.
It's true. That was like so much fun back in high school doing that. Like, staying up all night. You got to find out what that number one song is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you go back and listen to it, and yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Great memories.
It was to do a mixtape. Actually, took some thought and planning.
Exactly.
It's not just creating a playlist now where you just dump like thousands of songs into something.
Yeah. No, it's true, because if you were looking for, like, if you were giving it to a mixtape to somebody, like your thought went into, okay, well, I want that song. Will they catch the meaning of that song, or
And it's the arbitrary length of the cassette tape forced you to say, well, I can't put that song at the end because it's too long.
Yeah.
So you had to sort of mix and match the songs to make it just the right length.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's funny because the whole thing about, just briefly about movies, the general length of movies had to be from the reels.
Yeah.
So that was carried over. That's why the length of the movies, I think, 90, 120. You know what I mean? From the length of the film that they were put on each reel. You know, that sort of made it easy to figure out how long the movies would be.
That's it.
And it's interesting. That arbitrary thing forced you to come up with. It made you think about what to put on there.
Yeah. Because nothing worse than recording a song,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get halfway through it and the cassette ends.
Click.
It's like, and then you have to go back and rewind and erase that.
For music, that was my time capsule. Sometimes in the mid '80s, New Year's Eve countdown on cassette that I found.
Yeah. I still have my old cassettes.
Yeah.
All my old mixtapes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you kind of go back and you play them and you're like, what was that song and why did I have it?
Well, I mean, there's another one that I found had Jesus Jones on it. I haven't listened to Jesus Jones since the early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a throwback.
Yeah. You know you're old when. Yeah.
So that was the music for me. You said you're still going with the streaming radio station, are you?
I've been listening to Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucks because it uses, you have to go online to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's nice because if I'm cooking or something in the kitchen,
yeah,
I can just bring that in and it'll play.
What, through your iPad?
Through my iPad, yeah.
Nice, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's decent.
Yeah.
And it's what, the pop rock?
It's a top list. Top pop or top hit list or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the last song you remember from Spotify?
It was Taylor Swift's new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She's getting an awful lot of airplay these days.
She's getting an awful lot.
And there's a reason. She resonates with people. Popular.
That's it.
Popular.
Exactly.
Now, what about TV? Have you had a chance to catch any TV shows?
Amazing Race.
Okay.
Amazing Race.
You're seeing that through to the end.
I am seeing it through to the end because that is probably one of the shows that I will sit in. That and Survivor will watch till the end.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yep.
Who are you calling right now to win Amazing Race?
My heart tells me Team New Kid.
Team New Kid.
I think Jonathan and his partner are going to go all the way.
Okay.
But I'm not sure because they almost lost it. Almost. They, yeah.
So that's who your heart's telling you
My
is
heart
going
is
to win.
telling
Okay.
me.
I got
Yeah.
you.
But I wish I could remember these two. It's a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do not fit into this, like, whole crowd. They do their own thing. They were, almost dead last week, and they were one of the first ones this week.
Oh.
So, if not Team New Kid, it would definitely be these two.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and Survivor.
Survivor.
You've got the blue collars, white collars, and damn dirty hippies. Is that right?
Yeah. You know what? It's a little too early to still call it yet. I think once, because there's still 3 individual tribes.
That's why it's called putting you on the spot. That's why I gotta call you. Yeah, I gotta call you. You gotta make a call.
I'm gonna go with the mailman guy. I wish I knew his name.
Okay.
He's a mailman, but I know he's not gonna. No, I think once the tribes kind of merge,
Mm-hmm.
then you will kind of see who stands out. Yeah.
I think you've seen enough Survivor, so trust your instinct. You say the mailman. All right.
I don't know if it's a mailman. I'll let you know when he gets voted out.
We'll do an update.
Do an update.
The TV show for myself, Bosch, Bosch, a TV show from Amazon Studios. Amazon's trying to do the catch-up with the streaming content. Obviously Netflix is the gorilla. It's kind of funny to say because Amazon is enormous, but Amazon's put a big push on. They've started their own original content. Alpha House and Bosch, and several others. Gordimer Gibbons and Life on Normal Street is another one. It's a kid-friendly show. But Bosch stars Titus Welliver. He used to be on Deadwood on HBO. And if you've watched HBO, you tune into this show, you'll see several familiar faces from Deadwood, The Wire, and that. Good show. It's based on author Michael Connelly's series of books, and he is an LAPD detective. And he's clearly not the Boy Scout detective. He does make mistakes. He does get into trouble. But and you can see it stems directly from his character.
Okay.
It's not one of those. How mid '80s there's a lot of cop shows where the boss was always like, "Oh, give me your badge and shield, or give me your badge and gun," and he always the guy would fight back against the sergeant or whoever, the captain. It's not like that. It's very much more realistic. I find genuine character interactions. He's got an ex-wife, and when they meet, they're not. It's not acrimonious when they first meet, kind of thing. But through their interactions later through the series, you can see where the tension came from, and I mean, they do snap at each other later on in the series. But there's genuine moments of adult affection between the two of them. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think it was a solid series by Amazon, and I can see that they're going to continue that.
Okay,
Good
sounds
show.
good.
It's a good character, and a lot of supporting characters are well done. And there's a lot of things there that just ring through that are kind of, they're put in and not focused on, like wide shots. There's things that happen that are very good. That ring true.
Sounds really good.
Yeah. So that's on Crave TV. That's where I got to watch that.
Okay.
But it's Amazon Studios created, so you can either watch the show through Crave TV or through Amazon. So that's what my show is for this week. And Bosch is my pick of the week as well. Excellent TV show. Give it a shot if you're looking for something new. And your pick?
I'm going to go with Spotify.
Spotify. That is, you can either have a free service or you can go the subscription, right?
Yeah. I have the free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do play kind of like ads,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it's just like one ad. So.
Okay. And if you do the paid thing, I think you're able to download music for offline listening to. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds excellent. Excellent. Right. Well, that covers our books, movies, music, and TV for this week. Next week, we're going to be doing St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
A little bit of the Irish.
That's
Do
it.
you enjoy the Shamrock Shakes at McDonald's?
I don't.
Either you love them or you hate them.
That's it. But I do love the Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just too minty for me.
Okay.
But no.
All right.
And next week I'll have like a minty flavored tea.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Do you have a green owl?
No, I don't have a green owl.
Just get a Shamrock sticker and stick it on the mug.
Maybe I need to go look for a green owl.
uh,
A green owl might appear.
okay.
I don't know.
Well, I look forward to this then. All right. Well, have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
You too. Have a good week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.